Hey guys, Cycrafter here, and today I am back with the next episode of Anime versus Reality. This is episode 165 so far. I'm pretty sure by the time I get to the end of all the animes I have just watched, it's probably gonna be like over 300 episodes. But for today, we've got Eden of the East. Before we get to that though, we have a birthday to mention for an anime character that I actually have a figurine of. And Kaori. Kaori Miyazono. Her birthday was yesterday. And, well, if you've seen Your Line April, you know how it ends, so... I'm trying not to be too disrespectful of such a thing. Anyways, we gotta get into Eden of the East today. Considering this anime only has 11 episodes before you get to the movies, I'm only gonna be covering 3 of the episodes today, just for the just to keep it balanced. So we're starting off with episode 5, and we'll be finishing at the end of episode 7. Bit of a shorter podcast episode technically then. Let's get into it. Start off with episode 5. We have another Sadako waking up in a luxury apartment. Only to find she killed someone again. Oh, how did you sleep? Oh, I slept so well I didn't realize I killed someone. And so they call Joyce and it's like, can you please get cleaned up as elegantly as possible? Which ends up being crows on the roof. It's like, is that really elegant? Or did she mean efficient? Meanwhile, we go back to number 9, or Akira. I put Akira in quotation marks because I'm pretty certain Akira is not his real name, but it sort of does become his real name because because of legal name changes. But our character is trying to remember who he is, so that's why in my notes I've got him as Akira. But yeah, number 9 doesn't have all his memories back, but he knows he has one clear goal in what he wants to do. Meet and beat up Mr. Outside, but that requires the phone he nearly threw away. It's like, he's so angry he's ready to throw the phone, but realizes he needs it. Because if he doesn't have it, he'll die. Akira is attacked by a random guy who turns out to be one of the NEETs, revealing that they ended up in a desert in Dubai for 2 months. Although, this guy somehow got back. Seeing that Akira has no memory of what he did, the guy hands over the meat buns he bought. It's like, why are you being nice? I sent you to Dubai for 2 months. Explaining he's getting married to a girl he met in Dubai. It's like, hey, that actually worked out for him. He went from a NEET to someone that's actually going to participate in social life. Even after everything, the guy stopped being a NEET and managed to reintegrate into society thanks to Akira. It's like, okay, interesting. Over at Asako's in-house bakery, Saki helps Ryosuke with setting up shop before going to an interview. Ryosuke offers advice to Saki to stand firm in the face of difficult questions during the interview, but to not force herself to do so if she doesn't agree with something they say. Saki says she doesn't want to be trouble for her sister's family, but Rusuke says that because she is family, she is no trouble. It's like, she's no trouble. It's like, yeah. I feel like that's more should be like, your family, your troubles are our trouble sort of thing, and we work together. Which is sort of what they are saying, just a different way. Catching the train to her interview, she runs into Osugi and catches up on recent events and how a friend of theirs, Hirasawa, plans to postpone his graduation. It's like, can you really postpone a graduation? Hirasawa's belief is that people from their generation are neats by nature, meaning people should feel ashamed of themselves about many things. Apparently, Hirasawa had 6 interviews lined up, which makes it more weird that he's just not graduating. It's like, yes, I choose not to graduate, even though I have plenty of job opportunities in front of me. Sugi asks if Saki will be busy after her interview, wanting to have lunch together with her to celebrate graduating and finding a job. Taking her silence as acceptance. It's like, bro, let someone talk and give an answer rather than just be like, oh no, okay, we're good, let's go and have lunch afterwards. It's like, back at Number 9's mall hideout, he grills Juiz on her limitations, accidentally making a request to make the Japan Prime Minister cry for mercy, which is done in the most hilarious way. Because Akira turns on the news, talking about Careless Monday, and how the missiles were launched from the Navy, and that the Celico are viewed as terrorists. And the Prime Minister walks up to the microphones and says, mercy. Which annoys Number 9. It's like, that's not what I meant. And finally, reading Saki's message, he answers to let her know he's okay, and still without all his memories, wanting to meet up. That one moment is actually going to be an interesting development in the story. Since Saki didn't answer immediately, he uses Juiz to track her down instead of any normal response of waiting. It's like, bro, this is stalker territory. Number 1 sees this purchase, sees the purchase to say mercy, or sees the tracking purchase, and also sees that getting the Prime Minister to say mercy only cost only 60 yen, and it caused the approval rating to go up by 10% during what is known as the Diet Session, which is a 150-day session composed of a higher house of councillors and a lower house of representatives. But we're not going to get into that. Instead, we're going to go back over to the blue-haired Celico, which is Little Miss Killer from the start of the episode, and she's talking to many men lined up before her talking about not eating if you want to be a professional model. It's like, really? Like, I understand eating less, but like not eating? What, do you want your models to be skin and bones? Also, and she's also noticed Number 9's change in strategy, and she wonders what Number 1 will do about it in terms of a realist versus an idealist. Not that she'll ally with them in any way. She's just like, yeah. I'm watching from the sidelines this soccer game of or like this tennis game of realist versus idealist. Asking if anything is scheduled for tonight, she has to ask someone to keep an eye on her in case she vanishes and kills again. It's like, so not only does she do it, she's open about it and knows she could easily vanish and do it again. What the heck? During Saki's interview, she's asked about how she feels having survived the Careless Monday incident and the recent attack. Answering how previous incidents didn't have casualties, she was part of the mentality of welcoming Careless Monday. The interviewer cuts her off before she gets a proper chance to talk about her feelings on the recent attack, though, calling it an average answer. It's like, bro, sometimes a response is more than just one sentence. Sometimes a response is like a paragraph. And sometimes that paragraph can go a while. That's just unfair. It's like, how do you feel about this massive event that probably has nothing to do with our work? Oh, you gave an average answer? We're not letting you, we're not giving you thing. Saki goes to the canteen for lunch with the interviewers, but the entire thing is a trick for the section chief to spill food on her. It's like, oh my gosh. I gotta love Schnexel harassment. Saki overhears everything in the bathroom from two workers that saw what happened, saying she got rejected by the company for work. Leaving the office, Saki sees that Akira has tracked her down and saying that she's sad. They leave on his bike just in time for Saki to see her. She's like, damn it, she's gone again. And that night, Saki breaks down and tells Akira everything that happened, explaining how she rejected working at the company after seeing through the corporate lingo. She adds she can't go home now because it hurts to do so, because she likes her sister and her family. Out of nowhere, Akira gives to Saki is like, okay, inviting her to stay at his place as long as she needs, saying he knows what he needs to do now after hearing what she says, that the top people should be worried. He's still lost on how he could save Japan with only 10 billion yen though, which is less than 10 billion yen. He's like just under 9 billion. Usui has dinner with another friend of his, peeved off that Saki disappeared with another guy, slamming glasses of champagne. It's like, oh yeah, get wasted up in here. Seeing Usui on the floor, the blue-haired Sadako approaches the situation with something devious in mind. We know something bad's gonna happen. That means... And now we're entering episode 6. Blue-haired Sadako, or number 11... Number 11's devious plan is for Usui to be chained to a chair, like she's chaining him to a chair, like the previous guy, and give him a free penectomy with a cigar cutter. If you don't know what a penectomy is, look it up. I am not explaining what that is. Luckily, a call comes in time for a temporary respite. Meanwhile, Akira drops Saki near her home, with him asking Saki to bring her friends along. However, Saki's real plan is to not go home because she's too ashamed to face Ryosuke, instead staying at Michon's place. Who's Michon? She's the tech girl. We'll get her real name way later in the movie, or way later in the show for some reason. We don't even get a name for Purple Lady. She's just referred to as Sis. Or all that. Or Oni. Saki borrows some of Michon's clothes, telling her friends what's going on. Getting the answer of returning home first before anything else and not trusting Akira. Michon finds Akira interesting and questions Glasses Guy if it's about more than Saki living with Akira. And Glasses Guy, whose real name is Kazuomi Hirasawa, the one that decided to postpone graduation, roasts Asugi about how he'd run with his woodhouse, only to get called out for his lack of leadership. There is way too much talk about the male genitalia to just like, I have to make up stuff like that for this. Kazuomi next goes off about Akira, about his lack of clothes, memories, relatives, and a job, just to say he's not like Akira. Another of the group pops out of hiding on a desk to say Akira, acting gentlemanly to Saki, is probably wealthy and also nice before disappearing back into his hiding spot. His nickname is going to be Desk Guy until we get his real name. Michan suggests going to Akira's shopping mall to meet him in person, but Kazuomi says they need to do some investigating first. Before the group leaves, Desk Guy reveals he had an exquisite dinner with Asuki last night, and just figured that Asuki wanted to have dinner with Saki. He's worried about Asuki being alone at the moment, so Kazuomi tells Desk Guy to search for Asuki from the club room, which is about to be helped by Asuki's photo of the room. Entering Akira's shopping mall, Kazuomi gets curious about a wall blocked with cardboard. Only to get distracted by the others' excitement at clothes and tech. Tech girl is mostly the one excited about the tech. Kazuomi charges into Akira's room and to be freaked out by the wall of monitors with cameras and creepy music playing. Because that's definitely a normal person thing. Mainly the creepy music. Not the monitors with cameras, that's fine. It's a shopping mall, you sort of expect that. Akira suddenly shows up riding a big mechanical toy. He's like got his legs over both the sides. And everyone's just like, what the heck is that? And like, he even sets off party poppers in the room. It's like, what? And showing the papers that Akira does legally own the shopping mall as of December 14th, 2010, post Careless Monday, he explains he wants to help so Saki doesn't need to work for people who spill food on her for fun. He adds his help goes beyond just Saki, wanting everyone to become a NEET to change the situation in Japan. Interesting. NEETs rule Japan. Plot, huh? Using Kazuomi's Eden of the East app, roll credits for the anime, a visual recognition system, he adds his dog, Mameshiba, to it, and the app recognizes him from any angle. Yes, including the ones that you don't want to see. Michan is super quiet about Akira, but is annoyed at being called Mitan by him. Akira says Kazuomi could start up a company rather quickly with their invention, but doesn't know why things fell apart. Meanwhile, at number 11, we learn her real name is Kuroha Diona Shiratori. arrives at her employees just to get upset at them, and like she gets upset with her employees because one of them doesn't, because they don't know French and Cantonese. So she like calls up Joyce and it's like, "Hey, can I get a secretary that can speak French and Cantonese?" And fires her female secretary. It's like, what? Okay. Back at the shopping mall, Kazuomi explains that some minor trouble happened on Eden, leading to a girl dropping out of uni, and the uni starting an investigation. He leads into how originally the group was into recycling, like using that for the recycling, but Saki came up with a great idea for transforming garbage into precious items through the images. Eden's system went into recycling. Went from recycling to a useful tool for matchmaking, which led to the whole investigation because, well, creeps be creeps. Kazuomi prides himself on being a talented NEET, despite not having the skills like Michon or Saki. He plans to learn administration and law and order, in order to support other talented NEETs. Because of his idea of Eden East being a paradise for NEETs, he doesn't want a non-NEET like Akira to help. With some influence from Saki though, Kazuomi finally accepts Akira's help as a compromise to help Akira as a gifted person. Saki gets a chance to ask why Akira asked her to come to his place the other day, only to get an outfit as her answer. It's like, fair enough. Free clothes. Akira makes Michan set up a bunch of sparklers, all while teasing her by calling her Mitan. Calling everyone outside, Akira sets off the sparklers to reveal the design of Mameshiba's face. And I love how Michon gets a bit freaked out by the fireworks, even though she just helps set them up. Kazuomi gets a call from their desk guy, aka Haruo Kasuga, who has found out that Osugi has been captured by the Johnny Hunter. Apparently, there's a rumor that the Johnny Hunter has already claimed 20,000 victims. That doesn't... Wait, there's two lots of 20,000 victims going on here? Moving on to episode 7 though, because we're getting there. With everyone's knowledge of Osugi, they figure out that Johnny Hunter has gotten him. Haruo explains to Akira the version of the Johnny Hunter urban legend he has heard, and that she has apparently claimed 20,000 victims. They're confused as to why Osugi hasn't contacted them directly, and Haruo blows that out of proportion based on the website he's asking for help on. Akira doesn't know this about Osugi. Doesn't know this Osugi, which shocks everyone, but not as much as Haruo's blabbermouth about the dinner that was for Saki, owning him a slap from Purple Lady, or Oni a sis, whatever we're gonna call her. Thanks to a new photo from Osugi, they're 100% certain it's Osugi, with the piano in the reflection. With a piano in the reflection, they have something to run through Eden's visual recognition engine, figuring out that it's a Steinway model M1150 Lewis XV. And since the piano is very rare, it makes it easy to track down the hotel room. But everyone's attention is caught by a comment mentioning Juiz. Who is this Juiz that they're talking about? Number 9 is quick to leave, using Juiz to track down the piano quickly to room 1109 of the Insomnia Hotel in Roppongi, followed by who's renting the room and where Kuroha is right now. Considering Kuroha is close to the hotel, Number 9 requests that Juiz stops her with whatever method she sees fit. When she's pulled over by the police, Kuroha realizes that Number 9 is trying to contact her, so she asks Juiz to track Number 9 back. Saki calls Akira, but with him in a rush, all he can say is that he knows Asugi's location right before he panics and dodges a sudden truck crash. It's like, okay, we literally are trying to kill characters off with truck crashes now. This game is serious. Number 9 saves the truck driver just in time before it catches on fire and launches a counterattack by causing chaos at the Insomnia Hotel by buying it so Kuroha would have trouble getting to her room. However, she does manage to get to her room, ready to chop down the wood of Asugi, and Number 9 manages to barge in. It's like, my goodness. Both Sadako share their disbelief of how they look being different from how they act. Kuroha believes Number 9 is the supporter despite his statement of not being the supporter. It's like, who is the supporter? I'm not the supporter, you're not the supporter, who is? She continues on about how she's the Johnny Hunter and uses Juiz to find pathetic men and dispose of the dead bodies, all while Saki listens in over the phone. Kuroha mentions she has no intention of winning the game, much like Hajime, and gives the simple answers of hating Johnnies when asked why she did so much lumber work. My words are just so out of pocket. This is the most out of pocket anime I've written notes I've written for an anime. Number 9 tries to put the moves on Kuroha to save her, but Zeb passes out from too much blood loss. Yeah, because of the truck crash. And then also smashing through the door. Saki gets to the Insomnia Hotel, quickly reaching room 1109 to find an awkward situation of both Akira and Kuroha poorly dressed, with Asugi confused by everything. Yeah, Asugi's like, what the? Kuroha uses Juiz to make it look like she has telekinetic powers and grows bird wings out of her back. She finally reveals that the guy she had handcuffed was a random guy wanted for forced pleasure. So at least she's attacking those that deserve it in a weird way. Blowing out the room-length window, Kuroha flies away with the guy, her phone revealing she spent 28 million yen on super illusion material, including the costume wings. So did she really just fly away like that, or is it all a trick? We'll find out when we get to the podcast episode, the next podcast episode next week. But for today, we're gonna end this here for today. For YouTube, links will be in the description to both the channels and the Twitch for you guys to go check it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when this video comes out. A ding, ding. I'm StarCrafter out.